Hey there. Last time I took my oil to be changed at well, I won't say the name of the company just for their sake. Everybody was trying to do good, but nobody was on the same page as the other guy that was putting their hands in on it also. Well, they used a sucker pump. I just got an oil extraction pump to try that too for changing my own oil. So what they did was they had two different guys trying to do part of the oil extraction and another one finish before actually checking engine oil level on the dipstick. So they started extracting, and they said they're only able to get 2 quarts out of my car, and that there must have been 4 quarts missing. Well, I checked it just previously, and it was near full on the dipstick. So they said, man, you got a bad leak or something, and they're just wanting to make up some sort of story. But I think the problem was, one guy came around, started the extractor with their extraction pump. He got a little bit out and stopped. Then later, after working on changing the filter up top, they extracted some more. It was a different guy, I think, and that's when they told me that they only got a few quarts out, and that's all that came out. So I was low 4 quarts of oil because they only got 2. Well, the first guy sucked probably 2/3 of it out, and the last guy only got 2 quarts more after already resetting the machine. So I really don't get what they're doing, having 2 guys work on that, and they're bouncing between other bays, cars in other bays of the garage to be able to get things done. I just don't think everybody was on the same page. So what I got was an extractor pump, a small electric extractor pump. I got it for pretty cheap on Amazon, and so supposed to be able to suck it out, but at least I'll know how much is there, how much should be extracted, and how much I actually get when I do it. So right now I'm looking for an extra rag. Okay, this is a rag that I don't mind getting oil on. Plus I use it to go around where the oil filter needs to get changed just to catch any drops. And it's right at close to the full mark. The car is actually on a slight, ever so slight, very slight slope. So it should be right in, oh yeah, right in line. Yep, it is near full there, where the oil is dripping back down. That's about where it's at. I'm not sure if it'll focus on it, but I'm gonna need to put this aside. And of course, when changing oil on a 2017 Dodge Grand Caravan, or same generation of such, you can pull this top cover off the motors just to keep dust off of things and make it look pretty. Just has those little rubber holes, little pegs you push it down on. That really helps. I've seen other videos, guys, not taking it off to try to get to their oil filter and such. But I'm going to have to pause this while I grab the jugs I need to be able to put the old oil in. So, alright, got the old milk jugs, got a couple of them. The car takes 6 quarts. I got close to 6 quarts in there. About 6 quarts going to have to come out. Now this pump, I'm going to get this set up before I start, just to make sure that the hose goes down in there where it needs to go. No. I think that's down in there. Not, I'll find out. Well, it's definitely going further. Probably coiling up in there. So, if there's any obstructions in there, I'll probably block it, or I might have to move it around a little bit. But first things first, it's not on. You clamp these to the car battery. It's 12 volt operated. Negative to negative, positive to positive. And then get a milk jug ready. And pour into the milk jug. So let's see what happens here. It's sucking it on out. It's pumping. I'll have to stop it when it comes full. Pumping sort of slow, but it's pumping it. I'm doing this while the engine's not up to temperature yet, mainly because I don't want to melt the hoses. This is a very inexpensive pump. The engine oil has slight warmth from warming the car up to pull it in up into the garage here a bit. But it's pumping. So if you give me a moment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my other car battery, hook this to. Well, actually it's a lawnmower battery. I don't want to, as slow as this is going and it's pulling juice off my battery, I'd rather do it to a separate one. It may not have as good a juice to do this with, but see, the polarities are different here on this battery. Move it around. Snap this one to the positive, this one to the negative. Old lawnmower battery, it only has about 80% life left in it, or good or not. So pumping just as strong. I can recharge that one easy and not have to worry about waiting to charge my car battery if it draws it down too much. Well, I set the jug down on the ground. Got a little over a half gallon pump. It's getting there. But the motor's getting a little bit warm. A little pump motor. Probably give it a short rest. When I change the oil filter itself. Okay. It's almost full on this first jug. It's pumping out, just not real fast. Alright. Once we're full here, we'll know we'll have 4 quarts out of it. Just like when milk's full, and it's 1 gallon of milk, so 4 quarts to a gallon. Alright, 4 quarts to a gallon. Got this, let me let that little bit drain out of the hose. Okay. There we go. We got 1 gallon, 4 quarts of oil. Alright. Put the cap there. Alright, we got this one going. See if we can get another, hopefully about a half gallon out of it. There we go. Now, I did get 24 millimeter socket for the cap for where the oil filter cartridge goes. So I got that. Too bad I can only find this size in a 1/2 inch drive. There we go. Got on the Lucy. Okay, got a little 8mm. It still works with it good enough on the hose clamps that are on the air intake hose here. So I'm going to have to pull this off while that's draining to be able to get to the oil filter cartridge. There we go. Get that off. I got those hose clamps snug down good, but still got a little oil draining out the exit of this. Like maybe there's part of it that's not sealed good, but it's still pumping. As long as that oil is not going into that little electric motor. Okay, I want to get an extension. I got one for 1/2 inch. Yeah. This will help. Now your oil filter, right down here. I'm just going to start to loosen it. I'm going to need to put a rag around it when I start to pull it out fully though. There we go. Okay, I'm going to find a rag. I don't mind dirtying up with oil. So, just tuck this down around the area for a filter. Give me a second, I'll bring you over. Give you a closer look. Gotta unclip this here. So I got that drain in there. We're getting there. It's almost there. And of course the clamps hook to that, the pump, the hose goes down into the dipstick tube, and then that's where the oil filter is, and that's what I'm pulling out right now. So give me a moment here and I'll pull it out more fully. You'll watch me put in a tripod. I had my remote in my pocket. I opened the rear door accidentally, leaning against here. Okay. Alright, there's the oil filter, the cartridge. Of course this nipple end here, it has a little like O-ring on it down here. It goes in or down, and it's sort of stuck in there. There we go. That's the hole that just fits up on that. Yeah, they'll go on easy enough. Even if you put the filter down there first, or put this on and then the filter down there, it should do fine. Just go easy when you line it up to put it in there. Alright. Went ahead and pulled the hose back out just a little bit. Got about 1.5 quarts out. So it's about a 1/2 quart low. Maybe there is more in there, but I'm not emptying it from the drain plug. So pull the hose out, the suction part of it. Trying to let it get all that it can down. And it's going down to the tube and the other gallon down there. Didn't want to do that. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and stop that anyway. And hopefully all the rest of that will drain down here. Alright. Do is clean this a little bit. Got some residue around there. I definitely have to clean the other bit. Hose. There goes my new filter. Okay, hold on. Okay. I did set that to the side. Got the old filter out. Now, new filter usually comes. So it's got the O-ring on the little tip part there. It goes in. Goes down. Same type of replacement. It comes with a new O-ring to go on the seal for the canister part. So you gotta take the old O-ring off of here. See if I can get this with just my fingers. It's not easy. Got a little bit of fingernail, you might be able to get under it, but you might break a nail. Even a thumbnail, this stuff is on there. Easy does it. Gentle. Come on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a little screwdriver. Hold on. I just have a little jeweler's screwdriver, just sort of big, but for jewelers anyway. Usually you get one of those little hook tools, got a hook on it, but then you can, there you go, get it out of its groove, and I'll put that there. I'll put this cap on this one, this other gallon. So yeah, I got probably about a quart and a half, almost a half gallon on the other part. So total about 5.5 quarts. Let's see, put this one with the other one down here. What I'll do is I want to open up some new oil. Looks fresher. Yep, I haven't put any oil on it yet. But you want to lube the seals. You want to lube it with a little bit of fresh oil. And the other part that goes in on that one. And of course, they only give you 5 quarts per container, right? Most cars these days, they're not all coming with less than 5 quarts. So you got to buy another container, another singular quart, or another one of these, and just pull some out of it. So when you go to do another one, you get a big one like this, 5 quarts. Then you'll have plenty. I'm just pulling this. Don't let this fall in there. It'll go out in the car, but open it up real good. I'm gonna get some oil with my finger on it in just a second. Okay, I got some oil on my finger. Lube that puppy up. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and stretch it over the threads and roll it, walk it on up into place. There we go. Now the cap's all ready. Now some more oil for my fingers. There, get on that. Oil here. Put this on there. It just sort of helps hold it as it goes in. So I'll do here's, I'm going to go ahead and put this guy in. Spread it gently, make sure it's all lined up. Okay, that filter's starting to go down in there good. And that new O-ring's starting to feel in there, so what you gotta do is tighten that on up. Thread it on in. Be careful. Don't want to break the housing. The rest of the housing is plastic. So you just want to get it down to where it's not too tight, but that seal's definitely in there and it's just lightly snug. Alright. Got that. This looks clean. The old, where am I? There it is. Old filter box. I'm going to put it in here and save it. Never know what you need. Maybe a makeshift O-ring. You don't want to. The reason why we lubed it to put the new one in, you don't want it to hang up on in the housing there and then tear and break. If it sticks, you want to be able to slide in there as it's screwed in. Because if that seal breaks, then you'll be leaking oil right there out of your oil filter cartridge housing. Let's get this air hose back on for the intake. First, I'm going to put this one back down. Put this nut on. There we go. And this in place. Make sure everything's shapely. The way it looks like it needed to. There we go. This one there nice and snug. Not tight. Not to break the housing of the box. There we go, starting to snug. This one I had pretty light snug, so there we go. Now we can check the air filter while we're here if we wanted to. I already know what that's like. I blew it out with the air hose. It's good at the moment, but I will need a new one soon. Looks like pretty much done on the extraction of the oil. Now we just need to put some fresh oil in it. And the oil fill. We can put the 5 quarts in. Excuse me a second as I get my funnel. Alright, found my funnel. Go ahead and put it in. It's not the big opening one, so it's probably going to go slow. But you know what? Before I do this, I want to check. I just want to see what it looks like on the dipstick. It's dry. Alright. Okay, a little timeout while that drips in. I like getting every drop I can. Stuff's not that cheap anymore. Now, you got me something in the future to measure my old oil going back in, saving this. Making shift with the empty milk jugs for now. But yeah, this and the other ones will be good for the old oil. So when basically when it's level on the handle on these, when it's full, it's about up to here. We could have made one more cord in there, you think? I'm going to check the dipstick and see where we're at. Alright. So I can see it clearly where I need to look at it. Well, I haven't started the car yet, so after I add about another quart's worth, it's showing to be halfway up the full indicator, but nothing's pumped up into where that oil filter canister housing is. So that needs to fill up because some of that area might take a quarter to a third of a quart or more in those tubes and in the housing there. I'll put everything, all the caps back on. I'll move this oil and I'll move this battery. For vibration from the motor on startup. Give it a quick start. Alright, got the oil. It should have been pushed up in that oil filter good enough. Now hopefully we can get a lower reading on the dipstick. Yep. Just down at the low point, showing it needs a quart to fill the full. That whole hash mark is almost a full quart's worth as far as the safe margin. So it's, yeah, below or at the low end of the safe margin. So we need to add one more quart. You need to carefully judge this. I don't have a singular quart. Well, I do. Alright. Go ahead and fill it. I'm going to set this other new one down. Minus a quart. Sorry, I got the fan going. Sorry about the extra noise. It's just a little humid in here. We got rain forecast for too long. So I got it almost up right at the full mark. I'm going to use that funnel again. There we go. Of course, I'm using the Mobil 1 high mileage full synthetic oil. It does call for full synthetic for the seals in this motor. So this stuff I found for a good deal. Walmart got it for what, about $30, $35, a 5-quart jug. That's a good low price. Mostly on these if you're buying it by the 5-quart. And of course the shops get bulk, more heavily bulk discount when they get the big vats of it. But this, if you're doing it yourself, easiest way to contain it. You not have to have a ton of it on hand just to get a cheap price. So that should be good. That, put this cap on, save for later use. My measurement. Funnel out. Yep, get the funnel out. There we go. My oil fill cap. Over here. That should be good to go. And it's just barely shy of the full mark on the safe margin. So I probably could have used just a hair more in there. That's plenty. I check on a regular basis, make sure it's not getting low. It's only about a millimeter down from the full mark. Alright, almost set to go. Just got to put the cover back on. By the way, this is the first time you ever change an oil without a lift in a shop and with one of those sucker pumps. Traction pumps. Now I can double check other things. I could probably add more water. My windshield wiper fluid while I'm here needs that. I don't like using that blue stuff. Been using a lot since it's been raining, very lightly. Wow, almost a gallon needed. Our steering fluid looks full. Our brakes within margin. It's hard to see the coolant from here. It's not warm, so it's down on the low. But the reservoir's about half up there, so it's where it should be. Alright, guess that's it for changing my oil and oil filter. hope that helped anybody looking to see what to do with the oil and oil filter with using an extraction pump. It got almost all but maybe, I don't know, a very small fraction that may be in the bottom of the pan. So if you're changing on a regular basis, you know how, let me turn this fan off. Yeah, if you're changing the oil on a regular basis, you should be able to use the extraction pump occasionally, and maybe every third time, you know, use the oil drain plug on the oil pan, just to let other contaminants that may be down in the bottom of the pan, you know, maybe drain out. But if you change it a lot, because you know you're doing a lot of driving, and if you change it earlier, then you should, that should help out. Now, as far as resetting the oil light, if you need to do that, I already did. Sorry about that, but I had to. That light was annoying me, and so I was a little bit over on this one. So you turn the engine to, you know, on, but not start. So don't start it. Then within 10 seconds of doing that, pump the gas pedal 3 times, then turn it off. Then you can turn the engine back on, and that light will clear. So I hope that helps. Hope you have a great week, and I look forward to showing what else to do. If I have it, I'll show it. You know, if you got the same, then hopefully it helps. That, simple preps, and simple hacks, cheats. Using the extraction pump, it worked well this time. First time doing it, but it's going to be part of my routine. Not all of my routine, but part of it. So I hope you have a great day. See you next time.